everyone, welcome back. Today I am reorganizing my entire makeup collection. I had literally every single piece of makeup I owned spread out over a bunch of boxes so that it could all travel with me to where me and my bridesmaids were getting ready for my wedding recently. And since coming back to regular life, I have not been able to find any of my makeup in any of these boxes. So I definitely need to do some reorganizing and get things back in order. If this is your first time to my channel, hi, I'm Morgan. I know you can't see my face right now, but I'd love to have you check out my other videos where you can see me. A lot of the content on my channel is related to using the makeup that you own, loving what you have, and curating a makeup collection that makes you happy. If that sounds interesting to you, I'd love to have you subscribe before you go today. And now let's go ahead and jump into this chaos. I think the first thing that has to happen here is I need to get all the things out of here that are actually not makeup. So like, for example, I have like a hairspray in here because I just kind of threw like everything all in the baskets. Oh no, all these little clear headbands. This package is not sealed and now there are just clear headbands everywhere. So I'm sure we'll be dealing with that the whole entire video now. And I'm now realizing I just need like a discard bucket. I need like a place to just throw stuff that I don't want to deal with right now. So I think I gotta grab like a lid to one of these boxes or something. This will work for now. I also have some just like miscellaneous trash. Like this thing has always held this little like starter kit and I've held on to it for like making videos to kind of demonstrate how this comes, but like I just don't need it anymore and it's just clutter. So I think I'm gonna finally get rid of that. And then all these little like lash tools that are normally stored in there will just go with my other tools. And speaking of tools, my brushes are all just how they already were, so I don't need to do anything with those. But I do think I'm gonna just go through, pull everything out of here that's like not a makeup item. And I might also move lashes with kind of tools because in my mind, like I don't use lashes very often. So I think I'm just gonna get all of these out of here too so I can really see what I have for categories. Have some lashes over here. This I had held on to for like a year because it's sample sizes of the foundation I used on my wedding day. So, you know, it had some shades where if I needed to kind of adjust the shade that I had to perfectly match me that day, I could. I didn't end up needing it, so I'm probably gonna get rid of it now. My little travel egg sponge container goes by my brushes. Oh, and I found some more brushes hiding in this bag that I kept as like my morning after bag. And actually the last thing then in this little bag is an eyeshadow palette. So I'm just gonna put it there and then I can get this out of my way. Okay, take that out of frame. Oh shoot, I forgot about this yellow one. Okay, so despite the fact that this doesn't look that much better, things are at least consolidated into these 3 boxes. And now I do think I need to kind of get the stuff out of these boxes because this white bin I use to store makeup, and inside of this box there are like 2 gray dividers that I use to actually store things. So I think everything's just gonna kind of have to come out of here, I guess, as a first step. Okay, so now we're down to just basically piles of stuff plus this basket, which is holding a bunch of things that are gonna easily roll away. Okay, so first things first, I really wanna tackle my lip products. If you've been around for a while or you follow me on Instagram, you know I've just always kind of like used this bag and let it kind of expand and open, and then everything's just laying in there for my lipsticks and stuff. I should say lipsticks, lip glosses, and liners and everything just laid in this bag, and it made it really hard for me to remember what I had and to dig things out when I was looking for something in particular. So I really don't want to go back to this model, and people kept recommending that I get those kind of like clear acrylic plastic drawers, but I just really am not, that's not what I'm investing in my channel right now. And I know that they're only like $15 or something, but that's just not where I'm trying to put my YouTube budget right now. I am, however, trying to put my YouTube budget towards my background, like the area behind me when I'm filming. So if you have any fun ideas, if you've seen videos where you actually get to see that background, let me know in the comments down below. What kinds of things could you picture me having back there along with my like little plants that I have? But anyway, I actually have this little clear acrylic box that is from my grandmother's house. So I feel very fortunate to have this. It's not like it's something that I specifically remember like seeing when I was over at her house as a kid or anything, but I just am really, really grateful to be able to have some things from my grandmother as part of my life. And especially since moving to Colorado, it means that much more being so far from family. So I was thinking maybe there's a way I can use this in a slightly more efficient manner for my lip products, and it might even be able to like sit nicely somewhere on a shelf in my room here. So I'm gonna try to, I guess, just fill this clear acrylic box with lip products first and then maybe organize second. So maybe I'll put them all in the lid. Okay, that's all I see out in the ether. So that must mean everything else is in this box. Oh boy. Okay, I think that's it. I do feel like something's missing here. Multiple somethings? Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a little pile off to the side of products for like my project pan and Shop My Stash. So those are all off to the side. So that's okay for now. They're all kind of sitting there waiting for me to do something with them. So that's fine. We'll organize as if I don't have those for now, and I'll add them later. So I'm thinking my Ofra lipsticks, if these fit, yeah, those are like my tallest ones, I think. And I'm picturing a situation where I can stack some along the back maybe. Oh, I guess NYX Slip Tease is a little bit taller, and then maybe my Tower 28 glass. Maybe my lip liners could sit in this space up here. I don't know, we'll have to see, I'm gonna set those to the side for now. This just really doesn't feel like all my lip products, but maybe it is, and they just have felt so overwhelming when they were in that bag. This is really interesting for me. Some of these you may not recognize also. Oh, these closest ones drive me nuts because they're magnetic. We'll have to separate them, I think. Maybe these Kosas could stand up in the back. Oh gosh, these magnets. They really kill me. There, that'll work. They're staggered, but it's fine. This one's also kind of an odd thing. It's like only something I put on my lips while I'm like prepping to film, and then I always take it off. So anyway, I was saying you might not recognize some of these. I did buy some new lipsticks like specifically for people to use for my wedding. So I'll probably end up doing some sort of like review type of thing with those items. But for now, just trying to get everything in one spot. And I'm also wondering, maybe this is a chance for me to really separate out my lip glosses. Let's do that. So here's lip gloss and then tinted lip balm. So I wonder if some of these would fit just like differently in here. You know what, I'm being too like particular about this because I do have those other lip colors over there. So honestly, I think if they're in here all together at all, it's gonna be a win for me. So I think I need to be a little less worried about how it's gonna look visually and just be glad that they're in a container where I can see everything. Okay, that lip oil is gonna go there, and I think I'm gonna just put my lip liners in this little space and then stack my lip glosses on top of my lipsticks because I can still see everything like through the sides and the bottom. So as long as I can see it, I think I'll be okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. So I'll have to incorporate those other lip products some other way, but I'm really thankful to just like have this little container because now I can take a quick glance at all my lip products. They're all in one place and they're very well organized. So I feel really, really good about this. So then just kind of getting some stuff out here. I like to use these little like index card boxes when I'm actually filming to hold things that typically roll away easily. So I don't want to use both of these for organizing, but one of them is usually pretty nice. And then I have a backup one that I can use for filming. So I really like these because then in like my larger containers and stuff, I can create little divisions for small items like concealer or eyeliner or things like that. So I've got these two gray ones that used to hold my blush, bronzer, and highlighter because ironically, those used to be kind of the smallest parts of my collection. I used to have a lot of foundations, a lot of concealers, and a lot of eyeshadow palettes. And so these smaller bins were for color cheek products. But I have kind of gone on a little bit of a tangent and I bought a lot recently of those kind of cheek colors and cheek products. Most of them are over here. They're also kind of sprinkled into this box. So anyway, moral of the story is I don't want to use these for those products anymore because I don't think they fit well in here. But I'm not sure what goes in here instead. I think it might be like primers, foundations, etc. So for now, I'm going to do that. Primers and maybe setting sprays. I have two open all-nighter setting sprays. I probably just need to like pour them into each other and combine them, but that's a task for another day. Okay, I'm not as certain about this as I was before. Okay, I do think this is gonna work. I think I just need one for setting sprays and primers and one for complexion. I think I should get my concealers out at this stage too. Okay, yeah, I don't think this is gonna be too overwhelming at all, so that's great. These are all primers. I do have one primer in my Shop My Stash, so that's off to the side as well. But this gives me a nice little spot to put my eyeshadow primer. And then does concealer go here? I think concealer goes here. I've never stored my foundation and concealer like in the same little container, but I think that works. So this is like base products now. I really like that. Okay, and then also via my wedding, through kind of roundabout measures, I got this little bin just to hold some stuff for the wedding. And I realized afterwards that I think it's gonna be a really good container for makeup. So I'm hoping my eyeshadow palettes will fit in here, but I'm not sure that they will. Let's just see what we can do. Well, and then that begs the question of like what happens to my little single eyeshadow products here. I was really hopeful about this, but maybe this is the wrong box for the job. I used to have them all in this cardboard Ofra box, which actually worked super well. But I thought that the taller walls of this would be like more supportive. And you know what? No, this is working. I don't know why I'm second guessing this so much. I just needed a little home for these small guys, and I was worried about finding one, but they totally fit right there. So I think that's it. I think that's how I'm gonna leave my eyeshadow palettes for now. Maybe Sultry goes over here behind these. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. That works. And then you know what? I actually have room in this bucket now for these little like single eyeshadow things, like my little ColourPop singles and stuff, which makes me happy because sometimes I forget about those just because, you know, they're not sitting with the rest of my eyeshadow. And so I go to do a look and I just don't even think about using them. But I think if they're in here, I'll be better about it. Okay, so eyeshadow, I think it's done. So I'm gonna set this over by those face products I just did. Okay, and I'm officially just gonna get rid of this box. I'm just gonna take everything out of here. Oh, and you know what? This actually goes with those single eyeshadow products. So I'm putting it in that yellow bucket. So this gigantic bin is where I used to keep my foundation, concealers, powders, basically everything was in here. And I've somehow condensed it down. I feel like they're just laying in more strategic ways. So I don't know if I'm gonna need this big basket at all anymore. I mean, I could use it for my cheek products, I guess, but I would need some dividers. Okay, well, regardless of where they end up, I need to sort these by blush, bronzer, highlight, and then I need to sort through this little mess here. Okay, I've got my neat little piles. This is bronzers. I mean, this Alma Beauty does also have a highlighter in it, but I think of it most often for its bronzer. Got blush right here, highlighter. These are combo palettes, so this is relatively new to my collection, very exciting. And then my Salt New York has bronzer, blush, and highlight in it. And then my powders over here. So there's definitely enough that like I probably need this big bin, but I'm not sure how to divide it up. Okay, tackle something else, Morgan. Going back to the whole thing I was talking about with this little guy, I like to put in my like eyeliners in one spot, and then my eyeliners and mascara, I should say, in one spot, and then my brow products typically go in like the other half. So that's just what I'm gonna do. I like having it separated this way, and there are quite a few other products that are in my Shop My Stash or Project Pan right now that will fill this out eventually. So I like to use that as a divider and then basically tuck it into like one section of this. So that naturally has created like a nice little corner right here that could be good for like one of these categories. And then I might just cut some cardboard to create other dividers. Or you know what? I really want to use this little guy. I normally like to save that for actually filming, but I can always buy another one of these little like 50-cent index card dividers if I need one. And I think it's valuable to me to have the storage space like this. Because then what that means is on one side I can do powders, and I do have other powders elsewhere that will fill that out. And then on the other side I can do like bronzer. And they can be stacked up nicely because they all fit perfectly into this little container. So I can kind of see them all at once. And then I can kind of use the rest of this space to organize my other products. So primarily highlighters go there. Whoop. And they're gonna need a little extra support. So we'll use my kind of full face palettes as a dividing point between those and my blush. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see at least most of the basket. Maybe I'll flip it this way. Yeah, that's a little better. Because I think something important to note here is that I'm leaving myself a little room to grow. So I have some extra space in my bronzer section and my blush section, which are two areas that I just know are like on my list right now. You know, they're just things that I've been interested in, curious about, wanting to try more products. So I think it makes sense to me to kind of leave some space where I know things are going to go eventually. This also means that these two little palettes are being stored with their like respective things, right? Like these are smack in the middle of bronzer, blush, and highlight, and they both have all of those. So I think it's gonna be like a good little reminder when I'm picking out a bronzer that I have these as options as well. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this basket turned out. It's definitely different than I'm used to, so it's gonna be a lot of like getting myself acquainted with reaching into this bin for these like color cosmetics, because normally to me this was like base and only base, but I like it. So I'm just gonna bring everything kind of back out. And then I store all of my makeup on the ground right now. So I just have like a corner, this corner actually, you can kind of see it. Normally you can't see that when I'm filming. But down there, I just have like basically enough space that this much makeup fits. And because there's some room to grow in each of these baskets, I'm not worried about like outgrowing that floor space anytime soon. I will say I do want small shelves. Like I do want something back there just so that I can like consolidate how much floor space is taken up, because when I look at this whole thing overhead, it feels a little daunting. So I want one of those shelves that's just like has spots where I can like slide these in and out. It's not like closed with drawers or anything, because none of that's in my filming space. So it's not like you're gonna see the stuff. It's not like it has to be perfectly organized and beautiful. I just want it for my own like mental sake. Like if this could just sit on top and then each of these could be like on the shelves below, it might just be easier for me to focus on picking items out of one basket at a time. And I forgot the dreaded kind of like other section. So I'm gonna find a little container for these quick and we'll do it super fast. I suppose this is also a good time to mention that I reuse, you know, just cardboard boxes for a lot of things when I'm organizing. This is like a little backup bin of like mascaras I've gotten for free with orders, and just some bags that I sometimes use when I'm organizing things. So this just sits nearby as well, but I kind of push it off to the side because it's not something I normally need right away. And I think I'm gonna use this Ofra box for my like tools, etc. It's what I used to use for my eyeshadow palettes, but I like this yellow container better. So let's just do a little work on this guy quickly. So basically I have a few lashes, lash tools, and sharpeners. So that's really it. You know what? Maybe I could consolidate this and my little extras box. Again, this little extra box has some makeup bags that I don't need up here, or down here I should say. I do like to keep these little samples of the Sun Organics foundation because I have shades 10, 20, and 30. So because it's so full coverage, if I'm ever doing like a tutorial or anything that I want to feature that foundation, it's nice for me to be able to adjust the shade throughout the seasons. So I'm gonna keep this, and I think it can just go in here with this stuff. It doesn't need to be its whole own entity. And then this bag is the one that's a little harder for me to figure out what to do with. I have just like extra stuff in here, and I don't want to get rid of any of these, and they're all just backups that I actually need. So I'm just gonna zip it up and try to tuck it in. I think that works. It's basically just the box for like, you know, stuff I rarely use or use just on occasion. So I think just having it this way, a little bit disorganized, is totally fine. And you know what? That actually freed up this extras basket that I've been using. And I'm actually gonna use this when I'm filming to hold my little rolly items instead of using these index card holders. I'm just gonna see how that goes. I mean, worst case scenario, I have to go get another index card holder from the thrift store, but maybe this will be good enough to take its place. So let me put these containers away where they're gonna go hopefully permanently, and then I will show you what it looks like when I just have all my makeup on the floor. Okay, so here's the little corner of the floor that I was talking about earlier. So have my eyeshadows down in the corner there, have my big box with my kind of cheek products in the corner, and then my 2 small containers with complexion base products. And then you can see over there, there's that turquoise box that I put all kind of like my extras and my lash supplies in. So you can see there's plenty of room here to grow. And so I don't need a stacking system. I just feel like I would feel less overwhelmed when I'm looking at it if I saw like one section at a time. Oh, and then I should also mention up here behind my filming area is my lipstick box. So I'm gonna test it there. I'm gonna see how I like it. If it looks too cluttered, I'll take it down and I'll just set it, down here on the ground with everything else. Okay, so that is that. I feel so much better. Everything is back in a spot where I can find it. I'm sure it'll take me a little bit of time to kind of get used to where everything is down there now, but overall, I feel really, really happy that it's just done. And now I can hopefully find stuff when I'm getting ready to film. I hope this was enjoyable for you. If it was, leave me a comment down below to let me know that you like this kind of content on my channel. And as a reminder, I'm also taking suggestions in the comments for things that I should put in my filming background. So back where I have my lipsticks right now, what else do you think would be good to go back there next to those little paintings and the plant that I have on the other side? Both of my cats did show up. Roscoe's over here off frame, rubbing on all of the cardboard boxes that just got emptied, and as you can see, Nala just wants to snuggle. So I think that's my sign that it is time to head out. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe before you go today if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.